Okay, seems like we're finally live. Man, that took way too long to try and get up. I don't know what the heck's going on with my computer, because it should not be running out of memory after a restart. I think there's something wrong with my GPU, but I'm not entirely sure. I know I've just been seeing like a couple different GPU-based errors. In fact, like I think a couple days ago, actually I was on Saturday, I think. Was it Saturday or Sunday? Either way, one of the 2 days this weekend, I pulled up VRChat, or I was trying to pull up VRChat, but SteamVR said I was using the wrong GPU. So something's wrong, and I need to figure out what it is. But I at least got us up today, and hopefully things stay stable. But if stream suddenly drops, you know why. It's probably my GPU. So yes, hi Lemonade. But we've at least got things up and running now. But yes, we're going to be working on Tanny's model today. You can see I've already gotten a bit of a head start. I have done the face off stream and even started on some of the hair. So we've got the front part of the hair as well as the very start of Tanny's pigtails going. So we're going to be trying to finish up these pigtails and linking it to the actual rest of the hair. And I need to catch my breath because, man, it felt like running a marathon setting up stream. I am all over the place. Hey, Eternal. Yes, thank you for being patient with me. But yes, so since hi Pulse, head pat. That kind of ruins the head pats. You hit someone's hand. I'm not entirely sure what caused the error. It was it gave me an out of memory, like, hang on, I should have the actual error still in, like, my search thing. Ooh, hang on. Computer has decided pulling up Windows Explorer. Oh, yep. And, apparently trying to do the File Explorer thing just kind of crashes part of Windows. The little bar of icons at the bottom of the screen decided to go away for a little bit. So there's clearly something going on. I probably need to do like a full scan for malware or something at this point, because something's not right. But the error specifically I was dealing with was a CUDA out of memory error. And it only popped up as soon as I hit the start stream button. So don't know what the heck that's about. But that was after I had restarted my computer once, trying to get it to not lag, because it was having some weird, like, display issues. Though I think part of those were I was trying to fix... I forget what the, like, minor thing I was trying to fix was, but I clearly made it worse. But I did start trying to fix it, like, an hour before stream, which is... I thought maybe I'd have enough time. Didn't. So I'm sure after the stream, I'll do a scan of the system, try and figure out what's going on. For now, though, we should try and do some progress on modeling. So far, I want to tweak these more. They're pretty good with like how it's laid out, but we need to make it a bit more like hair, because it's kind of missing that bit, just a smidge. So I think what we're gonna do is let's grab like these ones maybe, and then if we do V, no, not V. What was the button to split again? Can't rip faces. What if we just grab along these then? Will it let us rip there? Okay, that does let us rip. So there we go. We've got that split out now. And then we can grab like this one, and that is set to connected. So if we grow this, we can drag this out a little bit further. And then we just need to make these link up properly. So if we do select these, do a fill, and then fill along that line. that should connect all that up, and it should feel a little bit more like hair there. I'm not sure if I actually like that or not. Oh, I got pooped. Ah! Box. Eek. And I'm still struggling with boxes. Ah, whoop. I popped it off. Ah, other box. Can I do it again? Come on, box. I don't know how I did it the first time. Ah! Ah! You guys managed 2 boxes. What are you doing? All right, back to trying to fix this hair. Maybe if we just make these, because like I would just want to thicken this. I think having it be single plane doesn't quite work. So maybe if we get rid of this face, delete face, and then actually wait, maybe we don't even need to delete that face, because if we just do this, select these, do an extrude? Almost. I think we need to select the inner ones too. Why is it all boxes today? There we go. Well, I'm not out of it, but I've pulled my head out. Alright, hydrating. Probably to that one is enough. Why is it? Where are you guys getting all of these boxes from? Eek. Hang on. Let's see if I can tweak a thing. Oh, not that thingy. It's the cardboard factory. I mean, I guess that's a fair place to get boxes from. Let's see if that makes it easier to lift the next box. Because now my hands are closer, so I might be able to lift them actually. Ruka, thank you for the follow. Right, and then let's extrude this out a little bit. Maybe we don't even need to do the fill. Yes, I hope you're having a good day too. What if we go into sculpt mode? Oop, not where I want to be, over here. And then we smooth out this one a little bit. There we go, that's more what we're after, I think. Maybe we do want to fill that face though. Fill those, fill that down to about there. And then select, those are all somehow selected, but mesh, normals, calculate outside, and then mesh reset vectors. Hang on, box, up. Well, I flipped it. There we go. Got it. And then face shade smooth. There we go, that's what I was missing. Probably need to do the same on the inside. Smooth. There we go. Now that moves a little bit better. And then, oh, what if we even, I think it's probably outside of sculpt mode in this one is where we want to do it. If we grab this and then drag that forward and then over. We can have it curl around. Maybe even go up a bit. Up and back. I don't know if that helped or not. Maybe if we have this pop out more? Or maybe from this point. Hair is always a little bit tricky to model. I think sharpening that point should also help. Maybe dragging that out like that. I think that's getting somewhere. That feels a little bit more like hair. Though I feel like this one needs a little bit of tweaking at this spot here. Maybe we drag all of these out a little bit. Just that curve. There we go. That's more like it. And then we could do... Maybe we need another kind of poof coming up from here. Or what if we do actually select that, and that one there. And then we extrude out from there. And then select these faces, vertex smooth. Should bring that a little bit out more. Maybe even smooth these two as well. Vertex smooth again here. And one more on this one, I think. There we go. So that gives it a little bit more dimension without taking too much. And then we can do a select these edges here and do the same rip that we did over there. Wait, what? Was that not rip? Oh, that is rip. It just pulls in. I forget. So that needs to pull out. And then do I want to do that? Because I think what I'm going to do is these three can join, and then I'll dissolve that one after I join these. Oh, but then that's going to do a thing. Never mind. For our own sanity, let's not do that. Because that's going to have to split at some point. So we're just going to do a simple fill. Grab that, fill that down. And then select these edges and these edges. Edge, clear, sharp should help. Our only problem is that that does make that not smooth between them. Oh wait, the resolution for that is actually the same. Frickin' select these. Probably to that one actually. Do an extrude. And then we're gonna fill in both of these. There we go. Yes, stream avatars are currently gone. Just because I was frickin' panicking trying to get stream back up. I could try pulling them back up. I don't know if it's gonna work because I don't know what else is gonna break today. but I could try. I was just in a rush. There we go. Why are they still not there? What? What? Why are you not capturing the stream avatars? Eh? I think my OBS game capture is now not working. Which doesn't make sense. But also makes sense for my computer, because VRChat's game capture wasn't working yesterday. So, game captures are borked, I guess. I don't know why. Might be something to do with the GPU, I have no idea. But even after pulling up the thingy, it's just like, no. And pulling it up as a window capture isn't going to work because it needs a transparency. So, it's just not gonna work, I think. Unless... hang on, what if I do the capture with hotkey? Did that show up as the right game capture? No. Okay, yeah, my entire game capture thing isn't working. Am I gonna be fine for Thursday stream? I don't know what's going on. This is problem. So yeah. That's the thing. I wish I knew what it was doing. But its game capture itself is just not functioning, it seems. So we're gonna worry about that another time, I think. We're just gonna Hi Silver, I'm sorry that your first stream is so scuffed. Cause it is problems today. Fair enough. Now let's do a select and then vertex smooth on these. There we go. Should help. And then... So you get Eternal. Edge, clear, sharp. I missed those two. Edge, clear, sharp on that. There we go. Now we just need to do the shade smooth on this. Face, shade smooth. That should help. There is a little bit of weirdness going on here. I think it's this edge needs to not be sharp as well. Edge clear sharp on that one. And then if we grab this guy and then drag over something like there, and then can even do rotate, probably rotate smaller a bit. Like there. That feels like hair, I think. Of course you love biting Eternal. Something's still messed up with this one. I think it's this spot here, just doesn't shade quite right. Vertex smooth vertices there. Maybe that'll help. It did a little bit. Try the smooth vertices again. There we go. That's what it was needing. What? Are you questioning the of course you do? I just see you bite all the time. I'd be surprised if you didn't love it at this point. Probably about there. Seems to work, but it also feels like it's missing something. Shrink that down. Yeah, it is not good to kill me while I'm streaming. It's not gonna keep stream up. I think we need something on this side now. Let's probably do these ones. Split down a little bit. Like that. And then grab from here to here. Extrude out. There we go, hydrated. And then grab the two edges, fill, grab that side and do the loop fill all the way through. Face shade smooth again. And then these vertices specifically need to be smoothed a lot. Smooth there too. This one probably just needs to be dragged out as well. There we go. Shirt pillow? Yeah, that don't recommend a shirt pillow. Edge, clear sharp on that one. Oh, maybe that lower one needs to stay sharp. Edge. Mark sharp. Yeah, that definitely needed to stay sharp. Then that edge entirely can clear sharp. There we go. And then if we grab that same one, do the smooth vertices again. There we go. That should smooth out a lot of that. And then we can start popping out some of this and start shaping it how we want. This edge specifically also needs to pull back. I'll hydrate in just a second. I'm a bit bothered by this. There we go, hydrated. And then I think it is face And this one needs to go away.
Okay, be a bad boy and watch me find it out for myself.
Because I actually want some of these vertices to link back up. So delete that one too. Merge at center. And you merge at center. And then that edge we need to select. Edge mark sharp. And that is very confused. Why is it so confused? Oh, because this side isn't marked sharp. There we go. So now it's confused here. Why? Why am I still getting bit? There is not a gnaw command. Why do you want to fight God? Why do you want to fight me? The turtle, you're just causing problems today. Actually, would have gone to sculpt mode to tweak this a little bit further. I don't like that that also affects the other point. Vertex, smooth vertices, that should help with that. And that one can alt scale to bring that back up. And lift that up. That one just alt scale out. Scale. And that needs to drag along that one, I think. There we go. Man, now even Silver's in on it. What do we think of that for making it look more like hair, though? Am I on the right track? Am I not? I think this side actually is more accurate than this side is. Just based on it lining up with the hair. Maybe lower that down a little bit. I don't have tea right now, so I have no idea what you're drinking. What does your water taste, Weird Lemonade? And I hope your ramen is good, Eternal. Maybe on this one, if I select these edges and clear sharp. Yeah, that kind of makes it feel a little bit better. Maybe I need to get rid of the sharp altogether? Then what do I do about this one? Text, smooth that vertice. There we go. Yeah, that's pretty standard though. I don't know many VTubers who don't have chats that pester them. Well, actually no, I know some VTubers that don't have chats that pester them, but it's just because their chat's not very active. Hoi Konna, how you? Edge, clear sharp on that one as well. There we go, now it's starting to feel a little bit more cohesive. What if we just clear sharp entirely on this? Right, no, we need some of those sharps. We just need to figure out which ones we need and which ones we don't. So if we select these edges, clear sharp. That looks a little bit more cohesive now. Very nice, Kona. And hi Ragnarok, how you? I am alright. Anxiety goes burr today because stream got delayed because my computer decided to run out of memory immediately after being restarted, and I still don't entirely know what happened. I'm hoping it's not a major thing, but I need to scan for malware and frickin' make sure everything's fine for next stream. Is it a known issue with Windows 11? Oh, hi, Crisp. Let's clear seam there. We're making good progress even with the difficulties today. Okay, so then I'm at least a little bit less worried about it then if it's one of those known issues. I'm still not sure what I'm gonna do for like fixing it and stuff, because one of the other issues I ran into was when I was trying to record stuff in VR chat this weekend, I ended up like having Steam VR tell me that it was using the wrong GPU, which I didn't think was possible, but apparently I do have 2 GPUs in my computer, and I think I did fix it because I did manage to record stuff on Monday, but I'm gonna be keeping an eye out for any further GPU errors because I think something might be off. I can't say for sure though. Tweak this one. What's up, Kona? Yes, I have checked like 4 times. I have the studio graphics drivers on as well, because that's the recommended one when you're doing OBS and streaming and stuff. Yeah, that's fair, Crisp. Hi Dean, how you? Let's see, how do we want to tweak this one? I think these edges we can make not sharp. And then same with these ones. edge clear sharp. And then, do we want to leave that top one as sharp? I kind of do. But this one can be not sharp. There we go, now that's starting to look more cohesive. I don't think you're supposed to eat phosphor. I could be wrong, but I don't think you are. Actually, let's leave that sharp edge there. And hi, 8-bit. I don't know where Tanny is. Tanny is off doing something. Maybe lift that up. And then that vertice there probably also needs to be smoothed more. There we go. That should get the curve more accurate. I think I'll be happy with that. Now the question is, do we want to redo that process for the other 4 points, or do we just want to copy, paste, and rotate? Because we could just copy, paste, and rotate. Let's do a mesh separate selection. So that brings them out to other ones. And then that one. Let's do Shift D to duplicate, and then we can do rotate so that it's that way. And just lay it over top of the other one. We want to try and line up the centers as best we can. Oh, yes, it is a Tanny net. And Tanny is Taniyuki. Their character design is in the left-hand side of the screen over there. So we're trying to do their hair right now. And then this one, duplicate that again, mesh, and then can we mirror X local maybe? Yes. Oh, mayonnaise hair. Oh, you mean the drizzle of frosting on top? Yes, that will be going on later. There we go. Hydrate. Did you chew on them, Kona? Is that what I'm hearing? They're actually a maple cookie. But you are pretty close. Alright, and then we will rotate this one. First on the Z axis to flip it around. Then rotate X. Flip that way. Rotate the Z more. Rotate Y a little bit. And then rotate X. Should get that more in line. said, whoop, flip it around too much. Probably about there. No, that's definitely way too far. Getting this lined up is tricky. I think probably about there. The curium? What are you on about, Bento? And I don't think you should call Tanny a raccoon. They are not a raccoon. I mean, Tanny is a maple cookie, not pepperoni pizza with mayonnaise. This one's more because Tanny is considered, at least in my eyes, in my kind of circle of friends who are collaborators. So since I want to do more things with Tanny and want to do like VR chat streams and stuff with them, having their avatar helps me in the long run. So that's why it's not technically a commission. It's more this is a grander scale of my own projects that just happen to involve other people. Because this has happened before. This is what happened with Fluff V and making them avatars, and it just kind of happens sometimes. I know Tommy's is very much the same because he makes me music, so he's getting an avatar too. So we'll duplicate this one, and then rotate around. I mean, I can't even argue that. I'm just weird. People here are just weird too. Alright, so we'll hide those ones, try and make sure that these are all lined up as they should be. Yeah, how is that for hair? Just remember that I wanted to mirror that one, didn't I? Yeah. I am definitely not the normal kind. Mesh, mirror, bilocal. And then rotate around this axis. That needs to come out more like that. There we go. That helped a little bit, I think. Definitely needs a bit more variation, but we can definitely tweak the things a little bit more by doing things like just grabbing this corner and then dragging down. We scale that up and then do a rotate to get that more, drag that down. Now we have that like that. And then maybe even this one is just dragged out further. So now we have kind of pop in there a little bit more. Maybe this one is more up. Like that. And then maybe this one comes out more. I feel like this needs to be thicker. Let's get rid of those for a second. Pop that. Drag this one out a little bit more. There we go. And then... yeah, Botrix is a little weird. Though I can't really blame them. I'm the one who put the things in there. Maybe this side comes out curved a little bit more. Just like that, and then rotate a little bit up. And then turn that down. Right there. Rotate that out. Getting somewhere. Not entirely sure it's somewhere good, but we're getting somewhere. What do we think? Is that good? It's definitely more hair-like than when we started. Oh, frick. Box. Okay, well I kind of got it up. Ow! Meh. There we go. Got the box off. Someone feels a little bit off with the thing there. What? The box and the bunk? It was gold doing box and then bunk. If you're questioning the sounds, I think you're just gonna be confused. I'm glad you love it. Bonk is brutal, I agree. I feel like I should tone it down, but I also feel like it's gonna start a riot if I do. Up that a little bit. There we go. What? Hello everybody, my name is Welcome? I'm confused. Well, maybe I could make this come out more. If I do that to kind of curve that more, and then that needs to come down more. And that can come down and out. There we go. That helps shape it a little bit differently. I am not going to add a stab redeem. And yeah, I know my community. They like being violent. I have done my job well then, because Disney was actually one of my inspirations for this type of model. Because I actually like some of the Disney 3D stuff, and they do really well at some of their expressions. So, very, very, very nice to see that people are catching on the inspiration. Is there anything else I want to tweak about the hair? I think I might roll with that, though. Wait. This feels like the shading is a little bit wonky. Can I figure out why? Wait, is that continuing down that way? It shouldn't be continuing down that way. No, that is linked correctly. Yeah, Stepperdine would definitely be too gory. That's why I don't want to do it. Don Bluth did 3D. Don Bluth is ringing a bell, but I cannot remember it off the top of my head, so time to go look up name. Ah, yes, The Secret of Nymph, American Tail, all that kind of stuff, yeah. I grew up with those too. Poke or boop redeem? I have a boop redeem. There is in fact a boop redeem. I'm surprised. Well, actually, you're on YouTube. That explains why I haven't used it yet. Oh, yep, there's the boop redeem. Ah! Why the snowball though? Alright, let's try joining the base of these, I think. Which means I'm gonna have to figure out where the... Distracting! Hide those for a second. It's like this point. I want all of these points to link up together. Which means I have to find all of those points on all of these. Which is gonna be hard. Let me hide Tanny's base avatar so that we have a little bit more space to work with here. So one of them's right there, which is incorrect. That should not be the spot. So we're gonna rotate that around the Z-axis, get that pulled in closer. And I think we're gonna even pull that one out as we do that. It's like that should probably be the better spot for it. Maybe. Maybe there. Then I think that should link these better. So if we grab around this edge, hide those. No, this one. Hide those. That should let us see a little bit easier. Hide those. Actually, wait, no, that's a sign that this one also needs to be rotated. Because that should come up. Yeah, because there's the point that we want out of that. Bring that back a little bit. There we go. That should be better. Tanny is in fact a Tanny. Box. Box. Come on. Ah. I'm getting worse at removing boxes. What is this? And Tanny is not really missing. Tanny is just off doing something right now. So hide that one. That one's at the right spot. This one, hide that, is a little bit off. So let's drag... Oop, come on, not K. We want L. And then rotate... that way. I think that should bring it more to the center. Okay. So then if we select that one and that one, we should be able to hide those. Oh, we're one off. Hide those. Alright, so now we need the center points on these, because there's one there. The other one is right there. One there, I think. And then we need that one. That one's a center point. And the other one is somewhere in this mess. Right there. So now if we merge those at center, we have a nice collective point. And then if we unhide everything else, then that should be a little bit smoother. This needs some work though. Because there is one point somewhere in here, this one, that should be dragged out. There we go, like that. So that should make that make more sense. Do we need to do the same over here? Or do we just need to drag that in a little bit? Where is that point? Is it this one? Yes, it is that one, but I think that's the best we're getting on that. No, we have not added hair bones here. And yes, Net and Tanny act like siblings. It's quite funny. Is there anything else I need to do with that? I think these edges here need to be unsharp. Edge, clear, sharp. What was the bloop? Oh, wait. Silver, thank you for the follow. Edge mark sharp there. That links those back up. And then that should work. I vaguely remember that, Net. I don't entirely, though, I'll be honest. I was probably focusing on my own thing. Alright, so now we need to worry about the UV of this, which is going to be a pain, to say the least. Especially with these additional thingies. Because it's going to be this edge that's sharp here should all be grabbed. And then, you know, I probably should have done the UV before I freaking duplicated the thing, but here we are. Edge mark sharp. That one can also be seam. Select that edge, edge mark seam. That should be fine. And then probably do with all this being seam as well. Just so we have an easier time later. Edge mark seam, edge mark sharp. There we go. But did that not mark these as seam? Edge mark seam. There we go. And then we need to find where all that goes. I probably should have done that before I joined the darn things, but here we are. Which I feel like that's not the first time I've said that. My poor planning strikes again. Edge mark sharp, edge mark seam. There we go. I think that should do for those ones. Why are you... Did you accidentally mark as sharp as well as that? Edge clear sharp? Okay, yeah, they did. So hopefully if we keep that as that way. Actually, we might even do edge clear seam on that one. Because I know some of the stuff, some of the shaders, if you do seams, it's going to always mark it as sharp. So I try and keep my seams to things that I don't care if they're marked sharp. Which can be tricky at times. Oh, this needs more tweaking. Because this should go to like there. That go there. And then that one go down a little bit more. There we go. That feels cleaner. Sleep well, Net. And thanks. Edge mark seam on those. Mark seam there. And then this seam needs to go. There we go. Oh, shoot. Should I mark sharp instead of seam? Edge, mark seam. There we go. Still not the worst thing to mark sharp, but it should be seam, not sharp. Maybe this one we could actually drag. Oh, frickin' hell. What the heck was that? Wait. Crisp, thank you for the 5 gift subs. I was not expecting sudden hype train. What is up with you and trying to give me heart attacks, Crisp? Maybe that's a sign I need to change my alert for gift subs, honestly. If it is a heart attack each time. I don't know how much you guys enjoy seeing the heart attack though. Let's see. This needs more tweaking though. It feels off. Maybe there? That is a little bit better. You very much don't like sudden sharp sounds? Yeah. The confetti definitely has a sudden sharp sound. I mean, that's fair, Chris. I'm definitely not upset about the hydrates though, because it shows people care. They just care in a funny way. So did we get the inner edge on this? I don't remember if we did. We did not mark that as an edge or a seam. Oh, head pat. You're interrupting the head pat. Well, thank you for fixing the hydrate at least. All right. 1, 2. Let me mark those off. 3, 4, 5. Alright, and then we need to select that edge. Edge, mark seam. There we go. And that should be one section done. Now I need to repeat the process for the other ones. Actually, one thing I just thought. We know all of the sharp edges are going to become seams. So if we do, like, select one of them, and then do edge, no, select similar, or select all by trait? Select similar sharpness. Okay, so that should be all the sharp, and then edge, mark seam. Okay, yeah, that converted all of my sharps into seams. So now we just need to do the extra ones that we're carrying on. Like those ones there, and then we need it on the other side. It should have the same. Oop, not that one. That one. Edge, mark seam. There we go. Yes, you can break and fix things, which is honestly impressive. And then these ones carry down. Same on this side. And do these ones while we're at it too. Edge, mark seam. There we go. And then we need these guys. So that one, those, that one, those. Edge, mark seam. I think that should cover everything. For good measure, we'll add these. Edge, mark seam. Actually, do we even want to keep those vertices? Vertex, smooth vertice. We'll keep those. That one should also smooth though. And then what about on this side? Do we have the same thing? I can't even tell where that was. This is a problem. I think it might be fine. That is a very rough I think, though. Oh no, it is not fine, because there's one. So then where are the others? There's one, I think. Yeah, right there. That's one. So we found two. Well, actually, no, we found more than two, because we found the two upper ones. So we found 4 out of 5. We need to find where is the last one, which it should be on... Come on, where are you? We'll mark those as seen before we lose them. And then... can we select these by normal? Yes, okay. So hide those. There we go. Now it's much easier to find that one. Now that we're not hunting through a literal haystack. There we go. Mark seam. And then that one also needs a mark seam. Not sure I'm liking this bit here. Let's smooth the vertices here. Vertex, smooth vertices. That should help blend that out. And then that is there. Where does the other end come in? Up there. So that one should not be a seam. So clear seam there, and we can also clear sharp there. There we go. And now we unhide that one, and we go hide the other ones. If I can even remember which ones those are on. Here, we'll hide those 2 lower ones. That should, yep, that gives us freedom to select these. Edge, mark seam, and then smooth these vertices here. Edge, no, vertex smooth. There we go. So I think that resolves that. What is this extra edge that is sharp, though? Just one I can clear, I guess. Edge, clear seam, edge, clear sharp. And then why are you also like that? You should go all the way through. Mark sharp, mark seam, edge, clear seam, edge, clear sharp. There we go. And then unhide the other ones. Now let's hide those again and double check our first one. Did that also have the weird shenanigans? It did not. Okay. So that means that these top 3 are now done. Which leaves just these 2. And fair enough, Crisp. I hope you have good sleep. Edge, mark seam, mark sharp there. And then do we have any weird extra doohickeys anywhere? I don't see any on this one. So I think we're fine. Oh, but we do need to do the smooth those 2. Vertex, smooth vertices. There we go. Alright. So we now have our pigtails. Which... they're actually colliding with each other. I don't know if I like that. We could select the entire thing and then just do rotate and fix that problem. So I think we're going to do that. And now if we turn on the Tanny again, we can see those are positioned well, and we just need to get the thingies there. Though also, I've noticed, I think the normals on these are messed up. So we're going to do mesh, normals, recalculate outside, and then do a normals reset vectors. There we go. That looks much better. And then we still have not actually put the UV together. We've just done the edges and marked them. But I think we're going to wait to do the UV until we have the actual connecting piece, because I don't think we've done the UV on the front of the hair either. We've also just done the edges. Which, that one might need more cleanup, actually, now that I'm looking at it again. But Tanny has very fluffy hair. Actually, does the front of the hair match the back from what we've got? Because that is super fluffy hair. And then we look over here and we've got, well, I guess it's still very fluffy hair too. I wonder if we can do a little bit better though. Like, what if we select all of these? If I can remember which one is the thing. Actually, what if we just select the center point? Because we have the lovely center point that everything connects to, if we can find it. Where are you, center vertex? That one. So if we grab that one, and then turn on that. Okay, so now we can select that, alt scale. There we go. So now we can poof up the center bit a bit more. Question is, do we want to do that? So I'd say like that's probably the max. I think that does feel a little bit poofier, but I don't know if that's enough. And yes, Eternal, that is what Zoomies feels like. Maybe that one. Select that one on each of them. Just alt scale. Come on. There we go. I think that's made it a little bit poofier feeling. Why is your wall squeaking? Oh, well that makes sense then. That's your air mattress squeaking, not your wall. Hang on, why did that suddenly get like weirdly sharp? Oh, I think I hit an accidental extrude or something there. Alright, hydrating. There we go. And then, what other tweaks do we need? I am tempted to have this top one kind of cross over more. Or maybe the slower one? Like one of these feels like it needs to do that. Maybe this one. Is that how you rate the random noise that I make? I don't really think about what noise I make, I'll be honest. So it is a little bit odd to have it called out. I think I normally type it as meh, like starting with an M. Yes, there is an Adam. How are you doing, Adam? You're doing okay? That's good. Yep, lower that. Curve that more, I think. And then bring this, rotate it out. And then up. Maybe we rotate that out a bit too. Like that. Pull that in a little bit and then rotate that further out. We're definitely gonna have to fix the inner one popping out. So those two need to go in a little bit, I think. There we go. And then you and you need to go that way. This is a kind of weird one, actually. What have I done here? Oh, I've got the thingies crossed. That needs to go down. That needs to go out more. Actually, if we smooth this vertice, that should correct it. There we go. We're getting somewhere. You're not finding what you're looking for? Yeah. VGen is... I actually haven't messed with VGen much. But I imagine it can be tricky to find what you need, because it's artists. Maybe drag this one over. That definitely feels more like it's in line with the rest of the hair, that kind of curve to it. So we're getting somewhere. What if we drag these up? There we go. That seems... Might need one more, actually. Do that one there. And then pull that out that way a little bit, and over this way a little bit. And then if we drag this one up, we can drag that one a little bit. Just enough to kind of smoothen out what's going on here. There we go. It's not too bad. Smooth that out a little bit. Maybe even just do a straight... No, not smooth on that vertex. We need that to go that way a little bit. There we go. Now the question is, can we do that on like something up here? Get that same kind of curve to it. Do we even want it on that one? I feel like we do. Maybe we just do... Turn on that. Do more of a rotate and drag out. And then get that curve that way more. Pull it there. Problem is I don't want it to feel like it's fully defying gravity, so we probably need to do... Shrink that down, curve that way, and pull that down. And that is definitely going to need more geometry for what we're trying to get it to pull. So I think like there at the very least. There we go. So now that's kind of like flopping back over itself. that works. Feels a little bit weird to have it curl fully, but I think it works. So I do want that to actually curl in more, I think. There we go. Now it feels like it's a proper curl to it. Which kind of matches how much fluff is going on. Maybe this piece as well needs to kind of come out more. Like it's kind of drooped or something. We're definitely gonna need larger for that. Then we could have this rotate more that way as it comes out. It needs to like curve down more though. It feels too much like it's defying gravity. There we go. I think that works. That feels much floofier. And then we could even tweak this one here. Just get this to come out a little bit more before it goes back in. There we go. That's looking more like it. Do we want to do something with this top one that's similar? Maybe up here is where that happens. Or it's just poofed a bit more. Close. Maybe that. Those secretly hold Tony throwing stars. I don't know if I'd trust Tanny with throwing stars. I know Tanny likes swords, and I don't think we should trust Tanny with swords.
Watch me find it out for myself.
There we go. That adds more curve to it. Gingerbread ninja. I mean, they kind of are, but it's maple cookie ninja. I am not feeling this high energy. Let me quickly swap the song. There we go. What is... Oh, right. I see what has happened. Hang on. Swap that back. There we go. Yes, shush about the shirt. It was just a minor problem. It's fine. So next up we need to do the actual base of the hair. Actually, wait, does Tanny's hair need to be positioned a little bit better? I feel like it might need to go a little bit lower. Like there, rotate that way. I think that might be more accurate. Yeah, that is definitely more accurate. All right. So now to figure out how to do pigtail base stuff. Cube start probably. Maybe. trying to think of how I've done this before. I know I've done this before. Can I grab what I've done before and like alter it? Possibly. We'll make it work. Who's eating my grapes? What are you on about, Eternal? Okay, so we can get rid of Pigtail 1 now. We don't need Pigtail 1 anymore. Because we have floofy, nice pigtails now. So we'll add object. Add mesh. Add UV sphere. Set that to 8 by 8, I think. Next stream is Thursday, yes. As long as stuff decides to behave is going to be my thing. Because the number of times I've had to restart my computer due to it misbehaving is a bit concerning. So I will try my best. We'll instead do cube, I think. Add mesh cube. There we go. So now scale that down. Reposition. Best way of doing this. Alright, oh, well, first I need to apply those transforms, because I just realized I did those transforms in edit mode. Right click there. No, not there. Object transform. Apply. Where was it? Am I blind? I know there was a way to apply transforms. Oh, apply and then all transforms. There we go. Got that. Kind of. I'm making the base of the hair. Which... where is this even at? Eh? We're looking for cube. Where is... oh, cube somehow got put in Lobster Love. No, it should be in Tanny's hair. Which is a weird statement, I have realized. Alright, so now that the mesh is in the right place, now we can actually start editing it. We can do a loop cut around the middle. Get one there. And then if we select that vertice and lift up, we can get that lined up. We'll do one around there as well, so we can get those out. There. That one pull out. We will select 4 corners here. Vertex smooth vertices, should pull that in. So that is significantly better than what it was. That front edge needs to be tweaked though. Because that is definitely not where we want that to be. In fact, probably what we want to do is just get rid of these faces entirely, along with these ones. Delete faces, there we go. And now we can better position stuff. Actually, mesh snap to symmetry should also help. And now we can just do our transforms on one side and affect both. And then drag these ones forward a little bit. And then these should be at the center of these thingies here. And then that one needs to go in. Now then, best way of doing this. I think we'll do another loop cut around there, 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 and there. That should help smoothen things out. In fact, we could actually do... That should help smooth? No? It's not how smooth works? There we go. There's smoothing. Now we grab that one, expand that, drag that out. Grab vertex up here. You have, Em has brownie. Well, congrats on getting brownie. Okay. So we're getting a little bit closer to where we want to be. I think the other thing, I think Tanny wants both sets of ears. I'm gonna double check with Tanny whether I'm planning around both sets or just one. Where is the Tanny? Here we go. So we've asked that now. And then... do I have two sets of ears? No. I currently just have the cat ears. Though you really can't tell, because where my ears would be is just covered with hair. And I can't really, like, pull my hair to the side right now. It just doesn't quite work. But I, in fact, do not have human ears right now. I can. I am shapeshifter. I can do whatever the heck I want. But currently, do not. I think we're gonna do... I mean, I can uncat, but I just don't normally even have ears then. How do I want to do this? Vertex smooth vertices. There we go. So that should get the little poof going on. And then I can even... Oop. Oh no. I don't want wireframe. I wanted to undo because I just wanted to lift those up. And then I want to smooth these vertices specifically. Because I want them to be where they can follow that. Hi Asia, how are you? I am doing pretty good myself. I'm currently working on a model for a friend. Oops. Vertex smooth vertices there. There we go. So now that kind of curves better. And then if we do face shade smooth, mesh normals, reset vectors. There we go. And then edge clear seam and clear sharp. We can have greater control over this. Glad to hear you're doing good. Why has this done that? Vertex, no, mesh snap to symmetry. There we go. That's better. So now that edge needs to be sharp. And it also needs seam. There we go. And then think about how I want to link these up. Because I'm pretty confident with I want that to be like proper, what is it? A part? Like a part in your hair? Because it would naturally go between those two. So then it's just a question of how does the rest of the hair fall? I can also do split here, and we'll even grab other side too. Split both. There we go. So now we have front separated from back. So that should give us greater control of how that works. And then select that, extrude down. Extrude on the y-axis. No, not on the y-axis, on the z-axis. There we go. And then scale that, oop, not that. Scale that down. Bring that forward and up a bit. That should be more accurate. We do kind of want this to feel like it's actually clinging to the head though. So maybe something like that, and then extrude down further. Actually, if we do maybe curve around the ears there. Because we could turn that a little bit floofier. Well, actually, we might not even need that because it joins up with that bit there. Which I keep forgetting that we have the front of the hair already. So if we don't need this one entirely, so if we can just delete these. Delete faces. Slap on that. We just need to join that up smoothly. And heck, do we even want that bit? Maybe we remove those, see how we can join those. And then it doesn't really matter whether Tanny keeps human ears or not, as long as we link that up properly. So doing extrude from that point to there is about where it should end up. There we go. Not what I wanted. What was the button? Oh, right, that's not working because it's doing silly thing. So we want this one to extrude out and be there, I think. Which if we then select all this and do a fill, now we should be able to start. Nope, it's not doing it. Alright, we're gonna do other method then. Instead of pulling that out like that. That goes all the way down though. Tricky bit. What if we just drag this one forward? What if we just do it ourselves? So like that there, and then that comes out more, and then we can raise that up. Up, preferred. And then this one goes up. That works. And then we can do loop cuts. And then these two come forward. Maybe even down a little bit. That goes out. There we go. Then that can go forward. That one can go forward to there. How long is... Well, it's not a shrimp, it's a lobster. Its name is Frank. And it's been there for, however long it was... Like, not very long, because it was, Lemonade put them on my shoulder. There we go. That's feeling better. And then we can even grab this one, lift that up to go around the ear a little bit better. Fill in these ones next. Oops. Not G, F. And then these ones. Fill those. Okay. We're getting somewhere. So now if we show the front of the hair again. How do we want to tweak this? That needs to go in. And forward a little bit more, I think. Maybe even down a bit. There we go. And then select these two, vertex smooth. There we go. That gets that to pop out a little bit better. And then we need to do something about that coming out. So we'll probably do loop cut on both of these. And grab the frontmost one, forward and up. Maybe even out a bit. There we go. That should help. Which means that these should be sharp. There we go. Now why is that different on the two sides of the head? Because this side's poking out and this side isn't. It looks roughly centered. I am not sure. But I think we need to make these ones head sharp. Oh, whoops, I made that seam. Well, seam probably helps us anyways. There we go. Can we curve that edge a little bit more? Because I think if we can get that to where it's like down and then in, we might be able to do a thing. Because now we can do edge here as mark sharp. And that should help it feel like it goes towards the pigtails more. We can even make these ones also sharp. And maybe these ones? Yesn't. We've also got a little bit of fight in there. So we'll definitely need this to come up and then out a bit. Help fight with that. That goes up. Lift that up. And then this one can go up a bit more as well. Maybe these come down. Pigtails are a little bit tricky. Now we're getting somewhere though. I need to figure out how we're doing this lower section though. Oh, this is off to the side, isn't it? Okay, that should be even now. And then I did have a thought. If we do separate that like that, now we can make those feel like two separate things, which will probably help split that even more. And then this can be mark sharp and mark seam. That'll probably help. This one, drag that out a little bit more. And then what if we drag from there to there, drag that forward? That helps a little bit. This definitely needs to be dragged down though. There we go. That should help that curve around the head a little bit better. And then if we do these ones to there, and then do an extrude. You should be able to get that working better. Enjoy your game night, 8-bit. Smooth vertices. And then we want to clear, sharp, and seam from these. And then we can select these ones again, mark it in the seam better. That seems like it's working. Oh, we need a shade smooth on this again. There we go. I think the rest will probably be done through normals. Like the rest of the things that make it feel a little bit more like it's actually hair. This is just the kind of blockier parts of it. So we definitely need to tweak that lower section more. And that's why I do a turtle. Why does my music feel loud? There we go. Down a little bit. You want to scream and be everywhere? That's a weird one, Kona. Where does that even go to? Edge, mark, sharp. There we go. I think that helps. I do kind of want like one more, but I don't know if it's worth it. Well, maybe I don't do like proper one, but do just like some stray hairs that kind of pop out. That might be better. So we have most of the thing already done through here. This bit should come down though, I think. There we go. That helps smooth that out. And then, so we want to fix the lower section, but we also want to add a couple more tuft thingies. I think how I'm actually going to do that is I'm just going to select... Alright, I literally grabbed the same piece, because this one piece is used here and here. It just looks different because I moved it around after I copied it. I don't think we... Actually, no, all of these are the same piece, I think. Except for, like, this one had another one extruded off of it. No, those are all the same piece, because that's one piece that is also connected to that piece, which has the same exact, or like nearly the same thing. And then you've got this piece, which is this piece, and this piece. And I think, oh, there's like our one, I think. No, that's the joined one. Which one is it? This one? I think this is our singular one. So if we duplicate this, yeah, that is the single piece. So we will separate this one out. Mesh, separate, selection, there we go. And then this guy needs to be moved and used over here. So we'll do a rotate along Z, get that curved out, and then let's do an alt scale to narrow that down. Actually, no. Vertex smooth vertices across the entire thing. There we go. And then what is going on here? There we go. So that's that return to normal up there. These two can be dragged along that a little bit more, I think. Maybe that even comes down. That one comes out. That one needs to come down as well. And then this one... spooked me. That needs to go there. So that is now curved into its own strand. Here we go, hydrated. And now we select that bit, turn on the editing like that, and drag that to where it should go. And then we need to drag the other end to where it is going into that. And we can rotate that out and start pulling this into place. don't know if I like that. Maybe that's not to that point. Maybe that's to like one of the points over here. Let's hide that hair first. So like maybe that goes to there. And we can drag that in. Almost. So now we need to tweak things a little bit. How will I do the icing? That is a good question. I will get there when I get there. I don't entirely know how I'm doing the icing either. I think it's going to be something similar to what I'm doing now, to where it's like its own strand. I just haven't figured out what that actually looks like. Because I barely figured out what this looks like. Vertex. Smooth vertices should help with that. Drag those between those. And then we need to hide that so that we can fix this one. What is even going on here? There's the piece we're looking for. That needs to come out and up. These both need to come out. And then that one goes there. That one we're just gonna put there. These both come that way. And then if we edge mark sharp as well. Mark sharp does not seem to be working properly. But that at least does kind of solve the problem I was having with it, where like this is just much too flat. It's still not great. I think it kind of needs like droop more. That kind of helps. Actually, wait. Before I do that, we're gonna do L, Shift D, lift that up. Now we have 2. So now we can hide the front hair. And then this one can join up here. And curve around more. That needs to pop out a little bit. Like that. And then maybe this one kind of has more of that droop we were looking for. And if we turn that back on, how does that look? I'm still a bit confused by the normals. But it is getting somewhere. That does feel more accurate. I think one more on the top and we might have it. I wonder if we even need this side of it. Delete faces. I think that helps it be a little bit less confused. And then if we do vertex, smooth vertices to get them thinner. There we go. And then pop that out a little bit. I think that's working. No. I think I liked them better when they were full. I do think that this edge, the center edge on both, can be removed probably. Well, we need to not remove that side of it first. Because it's from there, there. All of these ones basically. Delete. Dissolve edges. There we go. That is going to take a little bit of tweaking, I think, to get it working properly, because, like, this down here is some shenanigans. I think those need to be joined. Those need to be joined. And that one just needs to be dissolved. Alright, and then we've got a little bit of fighting here, where this has not come out far enough. There we go. So that should solve that. And then if we turn back on the hair, there we go. That's looking better. Tanny will look as tan as they do on the side. Also, did I miss that hydrate? Whoops. Here we go, hydrated. Because I am funny. Sometimes, anyways.
Monsters who will not show themselves and who cause trouble. Monsters who abduct children. Monsters who devour dreams.
I'm still torn on whether I like that or not.
Monsters who always tell lies. Lying monsters are a real nuisance. They are much more cunning than other monsters.
Maybe if I pop that out more? Yeah, I think that helped actually. And then what if this kind of continues down and then curves out a bit more? Hide the pigtail for a second while we link this properly back up. Yeah, that curves it better. And then I could even do... Oh, I'm actually... I went so low poly on the head that I don't think I could actually get it to pop out how I wanted it to. But I think that's for the best. I'd rather use the vertices on these. Because I feel like that's a much better use. I do kind of want maybe one that goes kind of back into that. Like that. And then maybe we duplicate that again. And then this one, if we rotate it around this axis, should be able to get it to feel like it goes around there. Maybe this one even goes right to the center. So then that can pop up. And then that needs to link up with these ones, which is going to be tricky. Head pigtail. So that needs to come out more. There we go. So down to there. Pull this one back up. That should link up with those now. And then this needs to come out a bit more. Almost. I completely forgot that problematic was one of the options. I don't see that one very often. That down. Out and back, I think. Why am I getting licked? There we go, that's linked better now. I think these should come up and over a bit more. Maybe this needs to go to the side. Maybe that. And then if bring that way. Bring that down. Or in. I'm fighting vertices a little bit. Bring that in. This one in. And that one in. Then do select vertex smooth vertex again. Yeah, I think having that one be thinner definitely helps. I think it probably needs another loop cut here. Come in out a little bit. And probably over that way a smidge. That one can come out. There we go. And then this upper section needs to be smoothed out more too. So I think we'll do one there, and then grab this set and scoot that down. And that one can come up a bit. As can that one. Alright, I think that works. And then if we do a mirror modifier on this, modifier, mirror, and do it mirror over body. That kind of works. We might need one more on that little bit there, just somewhere to make that connect. I think I'm also gonna have to tweak these to where it's not the same on both sides, because otherwise it's going to feel a little odd. And then I still have to figure out how I'm doing the hair clips and the little thingies all over the head. We're definitely getting somewhere. How do we want to do the last bit? Probably duplicate this one. Duplicate. Then we'll do mesh. No, vertex. No, yeah, mesh. Mirror. X local. There we go. And then do mesh normals. Calculate outside to fix that. And then we can drag this over here. Figure out how we're going to line that up. What if we just do that in like that? Actually, I think better method is gonna be grabbing there, delete vertice, select these, delete those, and then we can shorten this as we need to. So probably to about there. Grab these ends. Rotate. Oop, nope. Not extrude. Rotate that way. Rotate there. Then we can drag those in and line them up with the hair as we need them to. Rotate along Z. And then rotate that direction. Then we grab that side, do an extrude across there, extrude again, shrink it this time, and then pull this bit out as well, maybe even shrink that. I think we'll merge that at center even. Actually, rather rather than merge at center, we are going to fill that and make this one be our point. I think that should work. What happens when my heartstone runs out? I don't know if I want to say. Edge, mark seam, mark sharp. Mark seam again. There we go. Gosh, you had to spoil it. I think we'll do one more loop there. Drag that up so that we have better control over that, and then we can pull that out. So we get more of a curve in there. Take those points, drag them in. There we go. That one can go in more. We're getting somewhere. I do think that these are a little bit too wide. Luckily, that's a fairly easy fix. Oh, I was RGB. Drag that one up more. It does take a lot of points, but it can also be a community effort. You don't have to save them all yourself, which is why I am not against it being that many points. They have done it many times. Lift that up there. That one should go out more and up. Still feels a little bit too cohesive, I feel like. Maybe something like that. No, I don't feel like that's better. You are not too late for the stream, Hades. We have like 30 minutes left. Maybe I start scaling some of these down. Hide the front hair so we can grab these. Getting there. Hide the pigtails so we can grab the last couple. That needs to scoot in a little bit more. There we go. That should be now thinner, thick. very thin, thicker. Well, you're not too late to, like, you didn't miss the stream entirely. That's kind of the point. You might be late, but you're not too late. What is going on with my work phone? Why are you buzzing so much? You can just turn off for now. There we go. Okay, so is that what we want with the base of the hair, or do I need to tweak something? Something feels off still. It's the front of this hair.
Boy, and watch me find it out for myself.
Okay, that's slightly better. Yes, we're working on Tanny's model, Taniyuki, who is one of my friends. And so far we've done quite a bit of work, to say the least. Oh, I think that actually helps a lot, just making that poof. And then if we apply this one and then start doing some transforms to make this less symmetrical, that should also help. Maybe this bit curves up more. And then this one. Come out more. And then maybe this one curves more at the base here. And it could even swoop this way a bit more.
Eternal 2319 wants cat to shapeshift. Uncat.
If you're sure. There you go. Uncat. Oh, you want uncat lobster. Can I do both? I have to undo the uncat there. There you go. Maybe this one comes more that way. Bring that down a little bit. Yes, my head is very round. You are correct. How does this look normal to you, Coda? That's my question. I feel like that made it worse. So we're gonna undo that. Maybe like that much difference. Or maybe this bit has a bit more of a difference on the two. Nah. I think it probably looks better linked. Yes, it is just Keita. It's rare to see people with different hairstyles. Yeah, pretty much. 3D modeling is art, so I still count it as an art stream. It's not a drawing stream, though. What the heck was that? There was knocking on, like, my window. I'm on the 2nd floor. But it didn't seem like it was on the window itself. It seemed like it was on the wall below the window, which is even weirder. That was a loud knock for a bird. That's fair, Konna. I still need to figure out what I'm doing with the lower section. Hang on, let's try material. Is that looking alright? Because something feels off about the way that it's shaded. Oh, maybe what we need to do is add data transfer from the base, from the cube, face corner data, do nearest corner best matching normal. There we go, that kind of helps. Though, let's see the other ones. I think nearest corner or nearest face kind of does it. So that should fix it to where it feels more like it's a cohesive head of hair. And it just has little poofs. Yeah, there's a lot of judgy places like that. So I'm going to leave that data transfer alone for now until we're sure we've got everything in. I don't think we need anything lower there because we've got it in the normals itself. So we just need to worry about this lower section then. Maybe do a split here and then pull that down. Split there. Take that one. These are all probably actually going to need another loop cut in them, aren't they? To help with how things are going. And then so this one probably needs these two to go forward. That one and that one to scoot over and then forward. Down, rotate. And that one can go in. That one can go out a little bit, I think. In, out, that way. This is actually just a really weird setup, but it's kind of working. I just want it to feel less just specific, I guess. I don't know if that's a word. So do I want those to be... Yeah, I'm gonna want those to be 3D, aren't I? What is the best way to do this? Can undo what I did, do extrude up, or I can keep going. I think I'll keep going. So we do this one. Please separate that out. Drag that one over. Have this one kind of follow this edge more. There we go. Maybe even tug that one in a little bit. Actually, maybe we don't even do... I don't know. Actually, if we select around the edge, that goes to there. Okay, so we can't select the whole outside edge, drag it in, and figure out from there. So we'll probably do that then. So if we've got that, then that's gonna be another split there. Probably that to there. What happens if we just select the 4 vertices and do vertex smooth? Sort of. Turn that on, shrink it down, and we should, here we go, have something like what we need. I mean, I tend to have lobsters on my shoulders due to you guys, so that's, if that's not hugging lobsters. That one needs to come in more too. There we go. I think that's that side almost done. This probably needs to go up a bit more. Something like that. I now need to do something similar on the other side. I mean, I can show you lobster. Because we have, whoop, that's the 2D one, hang on, I need the 3D one. There we go. Blue lobster. And then this one's Frank. And then we also have Fred. And I've got lobsters on my shirt too. See? All the lobsters. Alright, and I can now recat. And then since I am no longer in shapeshift, I can swap back to party dress. There we go. And I will hide Fred and Frank. It's been more than one for a while. Alright, so separate that. Separate that. Oh, and there's Fred back. that one. And then that one can get dragged in. Drag over. And then this one probably go alongside that one. Fair enough. You certainly got to see them. Now we need to hide the front hair. Actually, I probably want to extrude in everything, don't I? Because it's just going to be extrude, scale down. Like that. And then we'll hide Kenny's body for now, because we need to fill in these ones. Oh, those aren't supposed to be like that. Because it's supposed to be that is filled. There we go. Oops, that didn't select correctly. Fill those, fill that. Because these are all quads. Yes, it is basically a hair shell. That is how this functions. There's a lot of weird stuff in 3D modeling that is just weird roundabout ways of doing things. But it works well. Right, so that is those. And then we'll pull back the tiny base. And then I noticed that this ear and that ear both have stuff popping out of them, so we need to drag that in. There we go. And that should work. So now if this, for some reason we decide we don't want the ears, if we go and do the ear hide blend shape, which is this one here, now it still reasonably makes sense, which is kind of the important bit. And if we turn on the front of the hair, you don't even notice. And then if we hide or show the ears again, they're still there. Good. That works. And now we need to tweak these so that it makes sense. I think we're gonna grab that edge if I can. We'll hide the base again while we do this. I've never heard of SolidWorks, but yeah, Blender is a little bit weird. I'm gonna grab all of the corners of these, I think, and then do vertex smooth. Pop that. That should help. Actually, we want to grab that lower edge too, because I noticed that that didn't actually smooth the lower one. Vertex smooth. That. Okay, I think that's just how that one functions. I think that does help though. More of a 3D manufacturing CAD program. That makes sense. that would be quite different. What if I just try sculpt mode? Is sculpt mode gonna work better on this? And then what if we turn on the base again? Oop, I was hitting the wrong thing. Where the heck am I? Tanny base, that one. So grab that. Drag that out. I think that works. Now we just need to fix the UVs and normals. I don't want to T-pose. I do enough T-posing in VR. Plus it's a bit hard in this space. I mean, I can, but I just, like, you can't really see my hands from this angle. So what if we do there, there, and hide the base again so we can see inside. Okay, yeah. So if we just grab these as our separators, that should give us ample to do edge, mark sharp. There we go, that should help separate out the lower bit. And then we can do, how do we wanna do this? Because this and that should be seam, and that one should also be seam. Edge, mark, seam. And we still have to figure out where the seam is on these other ones and where the sharp actually goes. Wait, why is that sharp? That one should be sharp. Edge, clear sharp on that one, I think. I think we'll do the inner edges are the sharp ones. Though I feel like we've actually done it the reverse. Yeah, we'll try inner edges first. There we go. Edge, mark sharp. Edge, mark UV as well, I think, or mark seam. And then vertex, no, mesh, normals, reset vectors. Yesn't. That works but doesn't. Mesh, normals, recalculate outside? No. Okay. So it is still, these ones get confused. So if we do that edge, Edge mark sharp. Okay, that looks better. That one looks better there. And then maybe we do the same on that one? Or no, that one, I think. Edge mark sharp. It does keep it cleaner. This one should actually probably bend out a little bit more as well. And that down. That one can come out more too. There we go. And then that would mean that this edge is the one that should mark sharp. There we go. And then this side should be this one. And I can get these to come out a little bit more. I think we're getting somewhere. Though it is always funny when you're doing detail work like this, and like no one is ever gonna see this, I feel like. But it's gonna bug me if I don't do it. There we go. That linked up better. Edge mark sharp. So that now looks quite a bit better. I think I might do edge mark sharp there as well. Yeah, that smooths that out better. I mean, yeah, anyone here saw it, but like someone who meets Tanny in VR chat probably isn't going to be staring at the base of their neck. Don't know how Tanny will feel about that, I'll be honest. Alright, is that what we want? I think the other thing I want to do one more loop cut there. Get that to bend a little bit more, just so that it feels a little bit more like actual hair. That one's curved there. Curves there. These should come out a smidge. There we go. So I think that is correct now. Oop, there we go. Oops, did I turn on the armature? Yeah, I did. So that now feels like hair to me. It does still feel like very sharp there, which is weird, but makes sense. Because that is technically facing down. Let's double check that that, and that are all sharp. Okay, they are. Yeah, it's, I guess, just the hair overlaying itself, which is accurate. So next we need to do the little squiggle on the top, I think. Or do we tweak the ears next? Do we take a break from the hair and go ears? Oh, it is bedtime. Thank you for calling that out, Lemonade. I think the only thing that I'll do as kind of the last bit is I will tease what the ears look like, because I have done ears and tail a little bit on Tanny's, where you can see tail is shaped. And it's the same like straight line that mine starts as, but if you've ever seen pictures of my character, the tail does sway an awful lot and curve. I think the ears are still just basic cat ears. I need to turn those into Tanuki ears. But it does give you a little bit of a better idea of what Tanny's model is gonna look like once it has the ears. And I am very much liking it. Wonder if I can actually tweak the ears to work better. Could rotate the ears. I think the other thing I was gonna do is just make them scale set. No, that doesn't quite work. But I wanna work more. I wanna do the thing. Like at least that kind of helps bring it a bit more into scale, I think. Round but still kind of pointed. I don't know. I need to see how Tanny wants the ears to be. But that is certainly not bad for hair for today. I'm actually really happy with how fluffy those look now. I do have work tomorrow. I work Monday through Friday. I will say that much. Because I do have standard 9 to 5 office jobs that I've mentioned before. I'm just happy. Which is a good sign, given that I started the stream as, like, anxious mess due to technical difficulties. So very happy. Very happy. Alright. Let's see who we want to go raid. Do we want someone we know, or do we want someone doing art? Let's see who we know that's online. I mean, if you count me starting late, yes. But unfortunately that was technical difficulties delay, which is... It's a coin flip on whether you get the time back. And honestly, it's gonna take us that long to decide who we're raiding. I know us. There is a Haywen streaming, doing vintage story. There's an Ace Windfall streaming. Man, there are 2 aces streaming. I said 2 aces back to back. Let's see. There's a Brave Okami playing Pokemon Legends. Wandering Red Fox is playing Hytale, which we will be doing Hytale on Sunday. Sunday stream should be Hytale. Thursday... What was I doing for my Thursday stream again? Thursday stream is Mimesis, which I'm gonna be quite happy to get back to. Hopefully we don't have any technical difficulties, and hopefully I don't miss my friends turning into mimics again, because that happened last time. Let's see. Oh, there's also a Wolf Dad Duke playing the operator. Or what have we got for art peoples? Though most of the art peoples I see are doing drawing, not 3D art. Glad you could make it Hades. Nope, that's just more drawn. we're just gonna skip over that one. I'm not even gonna say what that was. Oh, there's someone working on a Live 2D model. That one's pretty cool. Let me see how their thing is going. Yes, I am glad you enjoyed the stream, Silver. And I think we're going to be going and raiding Fox's Drawing Twitch, who seems to be working on a Live 2D model, which is very interesting. Because I am and have basically always been a 3D VTuber. So it's always interesting to see someone working on the 2D side of stuff. And I hope to see you guys on Thursday. I'm very excited for the Mimesis stream, and I'm also very excited to see how Hightail goes. Because I know Net will be joining us for that one, as well as Volky. And it's been a little bit since Net, actually no, Net was on the Pow Pow stream with us. So you guys have seen him recently. But it's always good to have him back. So I will see you guys next time. Do as meow.